Hey, it's AP Experiment. Welcome back to XDefiant, and we are on Dumbo. This by far is the craziest map as far as domination. B is right in the dead center. A lot of counter strats are going down the sides and going around to the opponent's domination point and trying to capture it, basically trapping them in as far as spawns go. But if you've played Domination, that's pretty much regular knowledge. If I could compare this to a Call of Duty map, I'd probably compare it to something similar to maybe like a Rust as far as the way that it works as far as domination. The B flag is in the dead center. It's almost like it's the hardest to hold, but it's also like once you get a hold of it, you have to worry about the team basically running past you to get to either your A or C depending on what you're holding. But you will see that from this gameplay. As you can see, I'm running the Intel suit and running the ACR. I kept playing with the attachments, so I believe this was the 2.5 scope. um I'm not exactly quite sure. I'm not really feeling the reticle. I feel like it's kind of a weirdly shaped reticle. It's not bad or good. It's just simply not something I like. I am a fan of being able to change reticles, so I kind of wish that was something that was implemented into the game. But I do understand that's more of an accessory type feature. It's not something that a lot of games do. Even Call of Duty themselves have gotten away from it, so I do understand it's probably more of a tedious thing as far as like being able to implement to a game. It's probably something that requires a lot of coding and processing, and it doesn't really come across very useful, as a lot of people are going to use either a red dot or a blue dot or whatever. So it's like not a lot of people would be using the accessory versions. If you remember from Black Ops 2, there used to be the ability to put a smiley face as your reticle. I used to love doing that just so when people watch the kill cams, they'd be frustrated that they basically got shot in the face by a smiley face. It would be like my version of Why So Serious, which is my favorite Batman slash Joker quote. Um, it would be that was like my gaming version of Why So Serious, to literally just shoot you with the most unserious of reticles. I've used the hot dog over the years, some of the different ones that they were implemented inside of MW 2019, and I believe Cold War. I believe both of them had um, the ability to change reticles. So I am very much, I'm that type of person. But as I said, I'm not really feeling this reticle. I did end up liking, I believe, the reticle on the 3 or 4 times. I cannot remember which scope it was. That was kind of the better reticle that I liked. But I didn't really have a problem with this. It does make it very accurate, as I've used a reticle similar to this in other games. So it made it kind of simple. You kind of just point the point toward where you're going. I believe if I was using this on a sniper or a marksman, I also kind of like aim up or down for the bullet velocity. I don't know if there is bullet drop in this game. I've heard talk of bullet drop in this game. I don't know if that was to say that there isn't any, or if there was to say that there should be. I'm not quite sure. I believe with the size of the maps, bullet drop probably wouldn't matter too much, as a lot of the fights are close quarters or medium to long range, and even at long range it's probably no more than maybe 40 or 60 meters, which any sniper should basically be able to hit without any real quote-unquote bullet drop. It's not like we're playing on any big maps. There is no BR like type sized or BR sized maps, which would be 100 meters or more or something like that, where there would be a real drop off as far as bullet velocity. Um, but yeah, as you can see, this is absolute craziness. They are literally packing us in, trying to keep us from B, and you have to keep running through this burger stand to get to B. B is pretty much wide open. As you can see, there's staircases along the sides, there's alleys on both sides, there's the other building where the team can also come from. So it's a very wide open space where holding it is somewhat difficult, and even worse than like holding it and defending it is quite difficult, as well as trying to just completely hold the other team out is quite difficult. As you can see, a lot of the enemy team were holding the sides, trying to basically, if they couldn't stop us from getting to the objective, at least stop us from fully capping. As you can see, I ended up checking a lot of the different locations and different ways that someone could come into the point. They could come from either side. They could come from the top. As nades were flying around, of course, this game has lots of dope nades. If you haven't been keeping up with the All-Star Series, I will catch you up that I believe Team TP, it was the second matchup. The first matchup was Team Pac-Man versus Team Ace, which is a rematch of the original All-Star Series. And then the second team, which we had not found out about until I believe it was literally today, was Team TP versus Team Karma. On TP's team, I believe he had a lot of guys I couldn't recognize, so maybe they were either younger FPS or younger pro players of games, or maybe they were on games that I hadn't recognized. But he had a guy named Spacey. I don't know Spacey too well. I believe it was like John567. I didn't know him too well. And then Karma had Parasite, had Apathy, and then I believe he had a guy named Levitate. I don't. Again, I'm probably botching these names. I really, literally, I haven't even fully watched the entire series. I'm just trying to spew back basically the names I can remember off the top of my head. I'm about 2 of the, I believe, 5 episodes in, because I believe they did end up going the full 5 games. The All-Star Series is a best of 5, so for it to go 5 games means basically they end up splitting the series 2-2 and then going to a game 5. I'm not quite sure at this time who won, but I know that they will be facing team, I believe, Pac-Man in the finals, because I believe X got hit with that smooth 3-0, which was crazy. I was not expecting that, but they ended up getting hit with that smooth 3-0. So whatever team won, which I will be watching the results back in probably right after I edit this video, whoever won that matchup will be facing them in the finals, which I believe should be dropping today, May 11th. So I believe that should be dropping today. If it's not dropping today, it might drop Monday, which would be which would be the 13th. I tried to use the sonar goggles there, but that dude was just basically waiting for me. As you can see, literally, even though we're holding the point right now, they are literally pressing us, trying to hold us. You got this guy here who's trying to sneak behind. Like, this is a real back and forth on this map. It's a real close quarters map. It's a real doozy as far as things coming in and out. I kept catching this guy, luckily, because like I don't know what was going on here as far as like them coming from the sides. I guess they preferred coming from the sides rather than coming through that building, because that building kind of leads to more of like a single file stack on top of each other type of entryway. And then I end up picking up someone else's ACR, which is something I definitely have to get used to. I'm so used to holding to reload that now that my hold is to swap weapons on the ground, it's something that was basically bothering me the entire time of the playtest. I don't know if there will be more accessibility things or more different more settings inside of the full release of the game, but if there is a way to actually, much like I do in Call of Duty and most other FPS games, to switch my reload to hold, I would really love that. But it's been AP Experiment. As you can see, we pulled out that close win, and I'll catch you in the next one.